Good energy this week. Um, uh, so getting the first win was important, obviously, but now it was about still continuing to push and get better and prepare for New York City, a team that has been as good as anybody in this league for the last 3 or 4 years. A brave squad, always bring a load of talent, in particular on the offensive end, a tough team to prepare for in some of the improv and some of the attack-minded players. Some of their qualities, again, are tough to prepare for, and they have a winning culture. So we have a lot of work to do, but it's a challenge that we're looking forward to. It's nice to be home again, so we just have another day of prep and ready to go.
Thank you for that. We'll take questions from the participants. We'll start with Victor. Victor, go ahead.
Ben, how much of a wrench does the international break throw in with the absence of Carrasquilla?
Look, Coco's not a player you want to miss, or not have in your lineup. He's a crucial piece to what we're doing here. Big time player on both sides of the ball. The way he can start transitions for us, his ground coverage, winning duels and helping us with possession. And again, he does a lot of work defensively for us in pressing, has a good read on it. Saying that, he's gone. So this is just what it is. The international break is here, and you just deal with it. It's opportunity for someone else to come in and fill his void. It's a big void to fill, but every team is dealing with something. In some ways, we're lucky to just kind of have one. I look at other teams; some have two, and some teams have 5 or 6. So, but Coco's, again, he's not replaceable necessarily, but it's opportunity for someone else.
Hector Herrera obviously was named one of the players of the game. The way his performance against Austin, do you think that's sort of the expectation for what Houston wants him to do, or what can you say about his performances long term and what your expectations are?
My expectations of him are high. I think his expectations of himself are very high. But so far, I take the Austin game, maybe other than the goal, right? I think he's been a very consistent performer for this team. All 3 games, I think he was playing at a very high level. The big difference in the Austin game is he scored and we won a game. So there was, I think that put this performance, rightfully so, in a high level, and he got some accolades for it. But again, I didn't see that much difference between that and the previous 2 games. So him playing at that consistent level on the field is the expectations, and nothing necessarily more or less of what he's doing right now. Continuing to be a good teammate and a motivator for this club, and someone that can inspire us to greater things.
Sebastián Ferreira stands out because of his DP status. You told us, after the game, what Corey Barrett does differently, but just wanted to ask you what the plan is for Ferreira long term. Does he fit into the system, or does this team have the qualities to supply a number 9 of his stature?
He played into the game. He came in and did his job, and he got a couple looks on goal, and he helped the team with the result. So the expectations of him are to continue to be a pro and help the team in any role that we ask of him, and that's what we ask all of our players.
All right. Last one for me. There's a rumor here, obviously, Eric Radchenko. I don't expect you to tell us much on that, but just is the club actively looking for a center back?
Yes.
Can you elaborate why? Just
No.
Okay. All right. Worth a shot.
Listen, this is not something, we've been looking to add depth and competition in the center back position for a while. This is not something that came on our radar over the last week or two because we thought we needed necessarily help to win games in that spot. Just from a depth standpoint and moving this team forward. Another option at center back with experience is important to us. So we'll continue to look and hopefully we're very close on one of them.
All right. Thank you.
Up next, we'll go with Leopoldo. Go ahead.
Profe, is it
Hola.
possible? Oh, do you understand Spanish, profe?
Sí, por supuesto.
Ay, qué bien. Profe, ¿es posible de que usted me comparta cuál es?
Leo, let's go to English.
He said he understands Spanish.
I was kind of joking, but I'm willing to try. Give it in Spanish.
Benito,
Go ahead, give it in Spanish.
Benito, por favor, no juegues conmigo, Benito. Okay, let's go on English. That's all right. Ben, is it possible for me to know what is the way you analyze the game?
That's a very loaded question. Can you be more specific in your question?
You have
analyze.
You use the
analyze
stats.
Our team, the opponent.
No, yours. You use the stats or use the observation, and then you have an assistant that take notes about what your observation during the game.
So again, it's a loaded question. There's observations throughout the game. We have people upstairs talking to us on the bench from a different view. I have my own observations. We have assistant coaches that, of course, have their observations throughout the game. Then we take that game and we analyze it afterwards, and we're watching what's good and bad, and we try to enhance some of the good that we are trying to be real purposeful in how we're going to go about scoring goals, how we're going to defend. We pick out the good and bad of that, and we work on the good. We try to fix the bad. Then there's the opponent analysis that comes into play. So it's a tough question. But as far as data, we use a lot of data. We have a full-time data analyst that gives us a few things. He can help with scouting and give us the opponent data so that we have to be where we can, their strengths and weaknesses. They can give us our strengths and weaknesses. It's another tool. And we have specific metrics within our team that we want to see moving forward. We have a list of 10 to 12 areas that we want to benchmark, that we believe if we check those boxes and we continue to improve in those areas, that we can consistently win games. So we share that with the players, and we have so it's collaborative. So it's a tough question, but I appreciate it, and there's a lot that goes into that.
Well, the second question, Professor, is now I'm not talking about your plan for the next game, which will be, nonsense for my part. But how about the assignments that you give specifically to the starting people on the midfield? I'm talking about Carrasquilla, I'm talking about Hector, and I'm talking about Arthur. Is it possible that you can share with me the specific assignments that you gave these three guys?
You're throwing a bunch of curveballs at me today, man.
I'm an analyst, Professor. I'm not a reporter.
But you got to be more specific. What do you mean?
Okay. Yes, with Hector.
I give them a lot of information.
Hector, you want to be the second defensive midfield. Okay.
Yes.
Try to whatever you have. The main thing you are expecting for these three guys.
Well, okay.
But you tell him. It's not a matter that you know what they have to do. No, it's Hector. Okay. this is
Yeah,
going to be your
I
function.
understand your question. I understand, but you've already said it, right? Our tour, ball winning, ground coverage, connecting the game, protect the back four, right? Hector, dictate the game, utilize his range of passing to help us build, whether it's short or long, right? Coco, driving, finding pockets, right? You see, it's not brain surgery. Don't overthink it. They have a good complementary trio in there, and everybody that watches them, and I think you have a good understanding of the game. It sounds like, so I wouldn't overthink it. I think one's a connector, one can help us a little bit more vertically, and one's a ball winner.
We've got time for two more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joey, go ahead.
Hello, Ben.
Hi.
So with Coco out this week, could we expect more of a bigger role from Brooklyn Reigns?
Brooklyn's look good. He's still a young player, but he's a guy that has grown from last year, and I think in preseason he's looked sharp, training and in the moments we've put him in the game. So he's an option. But we've got a bunch of forwards that we can also play, and Corey's flexibility. Charles August is a guy that we've used in there. Luis Casedo is a guy that we've used in the midfield as well, who's got a lot of experience in this league and is got hundreds of games at a pro level. So they're all options at this point. But Brooklyn will see time this year for sure. We're committed to developing him, and there will be plenty of opportunities for him throughout the year to continue to develop.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, last one with Sam. Sam, go ahead.
All right, Coach. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah, Sam here. Just want to ask you a quick one. You've always emphasized on depth in squad, and now we're having national break, and one of key players out. How deep will you say your squad is?
We're going to find out. That's what this process is about. We all have our ideas on depth and what what you have on the bench or in reserve. But there's only one way to find out, and it's these type of moments where you call on a guy who hasn't seen a lot of minutes, and they come in and hopefully take their chance and their opportunity. So I'll find out as you find out.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Wish you luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll have media resources later today.